Hey guys, as you can tell outside, the weather's getting a little cooler out, which means football season is right around the corner. If you're like me, you probably play a lot of fantasy football leagues. I do two, three, four, sometimes five. Um, some of you may only play one or two. A lot of you probably don't have enough time to go to all the different websites, get all your information, look at who's hot, who's not, transactions as far as, which teams picked up this guy and that guy in the off season. I've been doing it for quite some time, giving advice to family, friends, coworkers. It seems to pay off. So I figured this year I'd go ahead and throw in my 2 cents uh, and give my opinion on things. As far as the draft-wise, it's coming up soon. Most of you probably already know who you're looking to take in the first or second round. The top 10 on every website is roughly the same. Actually, the top 10 to 12 is roughly the same. So I'm not really going to go into any depth with those. What I'm going to do is give you a few names that I like that are a little further down the list. Usually taken 3, 4, 5, 6 round, and I'd bump them up a round or two, in my opinion, because I feel they have a very high upside this year. For starters, quarterbacks wise, two guys I like this year, Phillip Rivers and Cutler. A lot of you may not agree with me, but I'll explain why. Phillip Rivers, I know last year we were probably better off calling him empty creeks, but he threw a lot of interceptions, but part of that's not to blame for him. They had a rough season. The whole thing was Vincent Jackson at the beginning, Antonio Gates being hurt this week and good next week and hurt this week. That's his favorite target. And if he's not there, then he doesn't really have a comfort zone. So I'd expect much better things from that team this year, especially Phillip Rivers. Loves to pass the ball. I'd put him in my top 5 to 7 quarterbacks to take off the board. Now, if you don't get one of those top quarterbacks that you're looking at, Jay Cutler's a guy that I like that is safe to take in a later round. You may not agree. He's kind of whiny sometimes, real dainty. But the man likes to pass the ball. He's got courage. He's not afraid to throw an interception. And he's got 2 very lethal weapons. He's got Brandon Marshall, Pro Bowler last year, and he's got the best receiving running back in the league at Matt Forte. So he's got tons of options there. I expect him to do very well this year and put up a lot of fantasy points, that's for sure. A few guys I like here, 2 of them play for Denver, Willis Mcgahee and Tamme. Peyton Manning loves his tight ends. You saw what he did with Dallas Clark. He could definitely do that with Tamme as well. Plus, they both came from the same team, so there's already a little bit of chemistry there, maybe some trust built up already. Willis Mcgahee, the reason I like him is Peyton Manning is one of the best passing quarterbacks in the league, but when he gets into the red zone, he favors his tight ends as running backs. He goes back to an old school football plan. He runs the ball just as much, if not more, than most quarterbacks when they do get into the red zone. So I expect him to get some touches and get the touchdowns there. Plus, they were a solid team last year. If you can do good with Tim Tebow, you can do great with Peyton Manning. So I expect good things there. Reggie Bush and Isaac Redman are 2 running backs I like as well. Reggie Bush, you can probably snag one of these guys in the later rounds, but Reggie Bush last year had a phenomenal year. Great hands out of the backfield, definitely going to get most of the touches there, especially the looks in the red zone. Isaac Redman tends to be one of the healthier running backs from Pittsburgh. They're an old school football team. They tend to run the ball a little bit more than everybody else. So I expect good things from him, and he'll more than likely get the red zone looks as well. A few wide receivers, Lance Moore and Marques Colston. For one, if Drew Brees is throwing you the ball, you're worth a look. 2, Lance Moore. I know he doesn't play a lot or hasn't over the last couple of years. He's going to be a starter this year. They lost a couple of wide receivers. And over the past, when Lance Moore's in the game, Drew Brees loves him and finds him often. Marques Colston, in the last 3 years, has had over 1,000+ yards. With one less option out there, I figure he'd do just as good, if not better. Plus, on third downs, look, Marques Colston is his safety. It's his blanket. It's his go-to man. A running back, if you're looking for consistency, Steven Jackson, last 7 years has had over 1,000 yards. if you're like me, you wonder, hey, when's the body slowly take a toll on you? When do you start to run out of gas? I don't think it's this year. The Rams look pretty good in preseason. I know what they did last year, kind of a joke. But Steven Jackson's, the best option on that team. So he definitely has great hands out of the backfield for receiving as well as for running the football. And I expect him to be in the red zone more this year. So he'll at least get a few more touchdowns there as well. So don't be afraid to take him. As far as that goes, those are just a few guys I want to look out for. I want you to look out for. One I was saving is Ben Jarvis Green Ellis. I don't really want to tell anybody because I don't expect, but I hope he does very well. He did great in New England, who has never had a steady running back under the hood of Bill Belichick. So I expect him being in Cincinnati to get the majority of the looks and to do great things, since they're going to be looking out for A.J. Green out on the wide. So should open up a few running lanes for the law firm. A wide receiver from Green Bay, definitely a great option. When Aaron Rodgers is throwing you the ball, you're definitely worth a look as well, just like Drew Brees, so don't be afraid. Greg Jennings, Jordy Nelson, those two guys specifically. So that's all I have for you guys so far. That's my 2 cents. Good luck to you, and thanks for watching. If you like the video, please subscribe. I'll have one once a week starting at the beginning of the season. So again, thanks for watching, and good luck to everybody.